Hello, Cheryl here, talking about the August block that is the box and star frame. And let me turn it around. It is actually on page 94 of the book. And all of these techniques we've pretty much done, but I just wanted to give you a review. So remember when we do the string piecing, you have your backing fat paper that you use. You draw a line diagonally down the center, and then the first strip you glue on, and then each additional strip you sew, flip, and press. Once you have them all sewn on so that all the edges are pretty much covered, here I didn't worry about it because that is the corner gets trimmed off anyway. But then your next step would be to peel the paper off the back and trim it up. Actually, best to trim it first because then you have the lines that you follow on your backing paper. Once you've trimmed it, then pull off all the paper so that it's not adding bulk to your block. So then the next part, once you have your center part done, then the next part will be your flying geese. And these flying geese are a little bit smaller than we've done before. They're actually 2.5 by 4 because remember they're going to go, we have two of them next to each other on each of the edges of the block. And then on the corners, you have your solid colors. So what you need to do is look at your flying geese ruler. And to do a 2 by 4 block, you're going to cut the large one, 5 3/4 for your background, which is the white in this case. And then each of the corner blocks or the wing part is 3 1/4 that you cut 4 of those. Now you need to do 2 sets of these because we wind up with 8 flying geese, not just 4. So you do 2 sets of those. And just to review, you draw your diagonal lines on the smaller block. You stitch 1/4 inch on either side of that line after you've placed them on the square. Then you cut that line and press it, pin the other square on, stitch that on either side, cut that, press it, and then you wind up, after you've squared it up, with your little perfect flying geese that you get with using the flying geese ruler. And just remember that you do the trim number 1 side first, and then the number 2 side. Although sometimes I like to do number 2 first, and I'll do all the number 2s and then do all the number 1s, or vice versa, whichever you feel more comfortable with and which you think will line up the best with your blocks. Once you have them all trimmed up, then your blocks go together just like we've been doing by rows, like this. And then this will be in the center at each of those. So you sew row by row like we always have here. Sew these 2 together and these 2 together to then attach to either side of this, and then create your row here for the bottom. And then you'll have your 4 white squares on the corner. That's about it for this block. It's actually really straightforward, especially since we've done so many of those blocks before. So we're getting down to the end of this block a month thing that we've been doing. And for the final one, you can either do the Tulip Lady fingers, which is the next page, page 96 in the book. And that's the one that I did in the sample quilt. Or if you really want to, you can go ahead and pick out another quilt block that you may like better. And I've done several other ones because I'm doing a queen size quilt with my samples. So let me know which one you're going to do. And if it's one I've done, I'll be able to help you with it. And even if it's not one I've done, if you have any questions, I can certainly help you with that. So hopefully this helps. This will be August block a month. Next month we'll do our last block, and then the following month we'll be learning about bindings and sashing. And then we'll meet again in January to, after everything's been quilted, to do the binding. So also when we're doing when we're doing sashing and borders, I'll have Joe Pickett come in and talk to us about the options that you have for doing quilting. And she does a great job with quilting. She's my go-to person. And so I figured she'd be a good resource for you to learn about. And again, as usual, if you have any questions, give me a call, text, email, whatever works for you. And hope you're having a great Labor Day weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.